that text? Can you find me that
Let me
text?
look for Hillary.
She texted. She texted out
It's
Trump. Tweet. Yeah, did I say text?
You said texted out.
She tweeted out Trump should open the ACA markets again so people can buy health insurance because she goes, people are losing their health insurance by the millions because they're losing their jobs. Trump should open up the ACA exchange so they can buy health insurance. And I'm like, well, if they lost their jobs and lost their health insurance, where are they going to get money to buy health insurance? Hillary, do you see the disconnect? Does everyone understand now why we have to have health care for everybody? Because, hey, if you have a pandemic, everybody loses their health care. If you have a Great Depression, so you know in the Great Depression they say only 25% of the people are unemployed. We're going to exceed that. That's the projections. At least 30%. And I've heard people say 40%, which is way worse than the Great Depression. And by the way, you know how long it took the stock market to come back after the Great Depression? It took 20 years. So here we go. He says, rather than, someone's calling. Yeah,
Live
can you go
reacting
to
to
camera
Jimmy
B?
Dore like a fucking
Whatever,
boss.
camera 2. Can you go to, oh, that's too bad. Okay, I can stand by. Oh, this sucks.
This seriously fucking sucks.
We're good. We're good. Okay, go to the second screen.
The other one.
Not me. Go to the screen. Screen 2. Thank you, buddy.
So you can see it says Hillary Clinton tweeted this out on April 2nd. She says millions of people have lost their employer-tied health care over the last 2 weeks because of the pandemic. Millions. It's an easy call. Reopen the healthcare exchanges. That's the easy call. That's the easy call, you knucklehead. Do you see your brain on capitalism? Do you see what that is? Hey, people lost their jobs and they lost their health care. Well, let's sell them some health care. Let's sell them some. Hey, because you know what that sounds just like? Hey, Steph, tell me the people ran out of bread.
The people ran out of bread, Jimmy.
Oh, well, why don't they just eat cake? That's what that is. Oh, they lost their employer-based health care? Well, why don't we just let's sell them some health care then. Fucking nuts. Do you see your brain on capitalism? Do you see that? Okay. So come back to me. So according to ex-Obama healthcare head, people without Trump and Alex have announced another plan instead of opening up the ACA exchange. What is that plan? People without insurance can get cared for free. And hospitals would get paid at Medicare rates. What? So people can go to a hospital, and then he says something very funny. I don't want to take away his clever. He goes, wish there was a phrase for that. Very fucking nicely done. Tip of the hat to the guy who sued Cali Girl when she had spinal surgery. So what that means is you can go to the hospital. They'll take care of you, give you your medicine, whatever therapy, what have you, for as long as it takes. Uh-oh, something's happening.
Let me call you. If you move more to your left.
No, yes, that's right. Oh, fuck. Steph, let's do it again. Say, Jimmy, they're out of bread.
All right. I'm gonna throw it away this time. Jimmy, they're out of bread.
Oh, I know. Let's sell them some cake.
That's what it was.
Of course.
Who did that?
Malcolm.
I figured it was Malcolm. That is hilarious.
So, okay. So, you're going to go to the hospital. They're going to take care of you. You're going to make you well. And the only stipulation is that hospital can now not second bill you because they do that a lot of times. Like, oh, a doctor took care of you and he wasn't in this network and this, or they gave you this. That's not covered by Medicare. You can't, they can't. That's the stipulation. And how are they going to disperse those funds to the hospitals through the Medicare system? What? You ain't going to give everybody Medicare? Huh? Trump is giving everybody Medicare? Well, that's according to Andy Slavitt, former Obama healthcare head, who. And you're like, well, maybe Trump's just saying that. Because I've heard them say that. They said a lot of shit. They say a lot of stuff. It's like first they say the right thing and then they always do the wrong thing, right? During this crisis. Because first they were like, hey, Mitt Romney and him, and hey, let's give. And Kudlow was like, hey, let's give direct cash payments to people. And like, fuck yeah. And then Nancy Pelosi's like, no. No shit. So right now, if that's what he's really proposing, Nancy Pelosi's going to be like, no, we have to means test this. No, you can't do that. So if that's what he really means, but according to Andy Slavitt, so I'm like, well, let's see what they said. Okay, so let's see. And I hope to frickin' God I got the audio on this. Because I've been having a hard time with my Movavi recorder. Would you use my Movavi? My Movavi? Ladies, with the thing that don't get it. So here.
I'm going to provide a brief update on the administration's plans to cover the testing and treatment for the uninsured.
We're going to cover the testing and the treatment for the uninsured. So, you got pneumonia from coronavirus? Yeah. Okay, come on in. They'll take care of you. What, do you need me to fill out? No. No filling out. They're going to take care of you. You need my gut? No. We don't need your... Is there a copay? No. There's no... Do I have to pay? No. You have to just come in and we're going to get you well and then you go home. And that's... But what? And then what? And then the government sends us some money for doing that.
Can I hear it one more time? It's like I just don't believe it.
Wait, there's more. Yeah, I'll play it again.
Okay, great.
There's more.
I'm going to provide a brief update on the administration's plans to cover the testing and treatment for the uninsured. Getting the uninsured access to the care they need is a top priority for President Trump. We are already rolling out the $1 billion in funding from the Families First Coronavirus Response Act to cover providers' expenses for testing and diagnosing the uninsured. The CARES Act, signed by the President, includes another $100 billion.
The CARES Act, this is called, already signed by the President. Okay? This is already signed, apparently.
$100 billion for healthcare providers. Under the President's direction, we will use a portion of that funding to cover providers' costs of delivering COVID-19 care for the uninsured, sending the money to providers through the same mechanism used for testing. As a condition of receiving funds under this program, providers will be forbidden from balance billing the uninsured for the cost of their care. Providers will be reimbursed at Medicare rates.
Now that's the CARES Act that he already signed. Now, if he can just do that by signing the CARES Act, can you look up the CARES Act?
I am, and they have graphs and there's videos and stuff available, but I
Yeah.
have to prove, you know.
Yeah. Mhm. So Joe Biden is a Harvey Weinstein Democrat says Democrats are about to get BTFO in November. What is BT? Beat the fuck out of them? What is that?
That's what I thought. Beat the fuck out.
He's got 114 retweets and 2.6 thousand likes, so everyone else knew what that meant. I knew it wasn't good for the Democrats. That's what I thought. Whatever BTFO is, it can't be good. BTFO's definitely got to be the fuck out.
Jimmy Dore, whatever
Vote the
BTFO
fuck
is,
off.
it can't be good.
About to get whatever.
Back
I'll
the
come
fuck,
back.
Phone
the fuck off.
out.
Oh, that's it. Trump is going to give people Medicare for all. Joe Biden is still saying wouldn't help. The Democrats are still saying wouldn't help. Beth, a toxic, says holy fucking hell. The Republicans are listening to Bernie Sanders more than the Democrats. That's for sure. And turns out Bernie Sanders has been running in the wrong pro-war Wall Street party. He should have been running in the Republican Party because they actually fucking would listen to him. That's pretty ironic. That's pretty. You know, everybody said, hey, why doesn't Bloomberg run in the Republican? Why doesn't fucking Bernie run in the Republican Party? Why didn't he? He's got just as fucking big of a chance of getting his shit enacted. In fact, better. Turns out. Imagine if he was in the Trump cabinet trying to push right now when Larry Kudlow says direct cash payments and Mitt Romney says direct cash payments. Bernie could be there. Well, let's do it. This is a fun thought experiment. As
Very fun.
who's that atheist guy? Sam. What's his name?
Sam Harris. He's calling out Sam Harris. I fucking love you, Jimmy Dore.
Yeah. It's Sam Harris. This is a thought experiment.
This is a thought
What
experiment.
if Bernie was a Republican?
What if Bernie was a
Maybe
Republican?
caucus with the Republicans.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Pro-war.
Everyone would love that. We would all love that.
Caucus with the pro-war, pro-Wall Street, pro-fossil
It would be
fuel.
beautiful. We could all just get along then, couldn't we?
Caucusing with the pro-war, pro-Wall Street.
Yeah, that's how Nazi
pro-fossil
Germany
fuel
did it too.
Democrats.
But
Let's
fuck it.
just say. And pro-health, big pharma, and anti-Medicare for all Republicans This is, come on. So, as this is happening, I'm opening up yet another email from Bernie Sanders. Getting emails 2, 3, 4 a day. Getting lots, not just from Bernie, but but from all the Democrats. I'm getting, I don't know. Don't ever donate and give your real email. You idiots. So now I have to get another email. Anyway, so now my old email is just going to be for political spam. Turns out, because I donated. So as this is happening, I get an email from Bernie Sanders, and it's all about what he's doing. Right now, he's got a new plan out. Now he's got a stimulus 4. He's got some big ideas. All of a sudden, Bernie's going to get you some health care now that he didn't get you before, because I guess no one knew anybody's going to need health care in a fucking pandemic. Like, isn't it amazing that the first thing they didn't do in a pandemic was institute health care for everybody in the middle of a fucking pandemic? Like, they didn't know that, so we're going to have 30 to 40% unemployment, worse than the Great Depression. We have a system where people's health care is tied to their employment. And so what are they going to so that they're going to get, okay, so let's make sure we get the healthcare thing taken care of, and then we can take care of the corporations that actually don't need the money. They don't even need the money. This is a rating. So it's amazing to tell you about our, Dylan Radigan also said it's a six. By the way, we're going to do a show. Hopefully, I haven't heard back from him, but we're going to do a show with Dylan Radigan, and he's going to answer your questions for like an hour or something like that. So you can write in and ask questions of Dylan, and we'll talk about stuff maybe even longer than an hour. I don't know, depending on how it goes. But he said we're a sick country, and he's not taking it emotional this time. Remember the last time he took it emotional when that happened, when Obama did this to us, he got emotional, and now he understands that we're a sick country, and we are. And so as this is happening, as Trump is announcing that they're going to pay for everybody's health care who gets sick with coronavirus direct from the government, you don't pay bill, and the hospital is not allowed to bill you. So no, that is not Medicare for all. That is a first baby step towards it, and it's coming from Trump. And I didn't hear Nancy Pelosi screaming that we should do this. I didn't hear Chuck Schumer. I didn't hear anybody screaming. Trump actually signed it into the CARES Act. Did you find out anything about the CARES Act?
It's complicated.
Okay.
It's complicated.
So, okay. So then I get this email from Bernie Sanders, and he's talking about and he says Medicare must be empowered to pay all of the deductibles, co-payments, and out-of-pocket health care expenses for the uninsured and the underinsured. That's what Trump's doing right now. That's what it sounds like. That's already done. No one in America who is sick, regardless of immigration. Okay, so he's including. I don't see how they exclude immigrants or undocumented people. I don't see how they exclude you. Show up at a hospital. How do you do? No, go out on the street and be sick with the coronavirus. Go spread around. So he gets to this. So that he says all that. So that's already doing that. That's according to what I just heard from Obama's health guy and the videotape that they signed it into the CARES Act. And so whatever. See, he said what he wants here. It's happening. Trump's already doing it. But then there's this part. Let me be clear. I am not proposing that we pass Medicare for all in this moment. That fight continues into the future.
If not now, when?
Okay, that's all I'm saying. I don't know what to make of that. I know you can't pass Medicare for all inside of a temporary stimulus bill. I know that you can't do that. You can't pass a permanent thing. But I don't. I've been tweeting and saying on the show and texting and to whoever will listen, just like Sagar and Crystal were saying that they should be using their power, which is their following and their threat to the establishment. They should be using that right now to leverage shit. You know how the corporations got $4.2 trillion. The richest 1,000 people in the country got $4.2 trillion, like that, right? And now they're going to buy up everything. All the stores that are closed on all the streets around you, they're all going to be bought up by corporations. Why couldn't you also demand that now? Why couldn't you say, yeah, and we have to give everybody Medicare for all right now? Anybody who shows up to a hospital, we just put it in the budget. How much is it a year? What is it? $3 trillion a year? Let's just do it. And you start off with, hey, anybody right now who loses their health care right now, you start off that way. And then here's my plan to kick it in for the rest of everybody in a year or two. And everybody, believe me, everybody's on board right now. Nobody has health. Everybody's losing their job. Everybody's scared to fucking death. And that's why I keep trying to make their campaign aware, or his people aware, that people are scared to death and they need leadership and they want a call to action. And Bernie's not giving anybody a call to action. Like, hey, you know what I'm talking about. You've heard me say it a million times. And so, of course, they ignore all my outreaches, right? Because they're good at building. They're as good at building bridges as I am. And this is a tailor-made moment for Bernie Sanders. And he won't. It's like this. If there's ever a time you got a gun to their head, I say, hey, if you're really the biggest nightmare. First of all, he said he's the organizer in chief. Now is the time to be the organizer in chief. Now is the time to be bold. Now is the time to make a demand, because shit is about to fucking hit the fan, man. And Trump knows it so much that he's doing his version of Medicare for all. If you get sick with this, don't worry about it. Go to the fucking hospital, don't worry about it. All right? So I just beat Joe Biden. So Trump just beat Joe Biden. That's taken care of.
Well, Trump
doesn't even have to call him a demented knucklehead. Go ahead.
Well, Trump also beats Hillary on this.
That's right.
It's an easy call. We
right.
reopen the healthcare exchanges. What?
Trump's like, fuck you. We're just going to pay for it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You lose your health care. You get sick with this. Don't worry about it. So now there's going to have to be an expansion. They're going to have to expand it to anybody who loses their health insurance right now. I mean, how can you, right? Come on. You're going to hear stories of people faking their COVID and they really had H1N1 pneumonia. So they could get paid by, I mean, so we're going there. Now we need a big push. Now would be, I'm not screaming about this right this moment, because there's got to be something I'm missing. But if I find out there isn't something that I'm not missing, so what do you, I don't know, if someone's watching that's smarter than me and you think I'm missing something, please text me.
Trust me, Jimmy.
To a few people,
the people who are watching who think they're smarter than you are not.
All were acting. What's the word?
They're not fucking smarter than you.
But
snarky.
Almost like what?
They might be more intelligent, but they are damn
part
dumber than you.
That's highlighted.
Damn dumber.
Yeah. I go, have a good day. Like, you're gonna play a fucking game? Really?
I mean, come on,
you're gonna play
seriously.
A game? You don't think people who read that are gonna fucking freak out? You don't think you're... What? What's the problem? Sir, swear to God.
LOL. Bernie Sanders says,
See,
I don't want Medicare for all. I don't want Medicare for all right now.
Boldly to make sure everyone can get health care.
The next fucking line. Look what the next line. But for the moment, we must act boldly. Is that not a little contradictory?
But that goes back to what they were doing with, this is an awful bill, but I'm going to
vote for it. We got to act boldly, but not that bold.
Fucking hilarious.
I don't know. So here's something. Maybe this is it, because no one's texting me, motherfuckers. No one. Here's what I think. Okay. Maybe Bernie, again, is afraid of the optics of, oh, look at Bernie's trying to use this crisis to push his fucking pet project. And, which is probably sure a lot of people would actually say that. And then he says, what he should say is, you mean a solution to people's problems? Which is what I would say if I was him, and I would even say it just like that. And, but he wouldn't. He would say, well, I don't know. Let's see what your system didn't seem to be working so well. So now I have this other. He would never actually directly spank someone. But
I mean, where is the guy that said I am dangerous?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Where is the guy who said he was dangerous to Wall Street? Where the fuck is that guy? I don't know. So again, this goes back to what I've been talking about since they passed this fleecing of America, and even before they started sending you emails bragging about all the shit they got you in that bill, which they did. Here it is. Here, I don't know. So okay, so I know, I'm not saying they go. I'm sure the answer is, well, you can't get the permanent thing like that done in a temporary spending bill. Okay, all right.
It's been 40 years.
Why would you stop? We've been trying to get this for 100 years in this country. What the fuck? John F. Kennedy. What I'm proposing, Europe did decades ago. It's not radical. It's common sense. He said that in 60. Okay. 60 years ago. That was 60. I'm no math surgeon, but that was 60 years ago. 60 years ago, before I was born, he was saying that. I'm almost dead. He was saying that. And Bernie's not at this time, at this moment, I don't think we should do that thing that everyone knows we should have did 60 years ago. That thing we did for seniors that everybody fucking loves? You can't have that. And especially not now. So I don't know. So now I don't know what people are saying in the chat now. I would love to know what people are saying in the chat now. So that's what I mean. He's not proposing that we pass Medicare for all at this moment. Why wouldn't you?
Martin Bennett says Bernie is playing 4D Buckaroo. Unfortunately, he's shit at it. That's what one of our guys are saying.
So that's what I've been talking about. So is that clickbait? Was my title clickbait? Bernie gives up on Medicare for all? Because that's what that sounds. Let me be clear. I am not proposing that we pass it right now. Nope. Don't want to pass it now? No. You think we can pass it now? Nope. Don't want to. Let's wait. One. Well, that fight could in the future.
Jimmy.
In the future, after everyone gets sick and dead. Anyway.
And you got that email today. That is an email that you received this morning. And we have been saying on this show, on March 15th, he had that opportunity to meet his destiny.
Right.
And make the case to America. And just scramble the brains of the people who were going to ask them questions. Who the fuck cares about millionaires asking a presidential candidate questions?
Don't answer their questions.
All the president had to do, like Donald Trump did, was seize the opportunity and speak to his base and speak to the people in need. But he didn't do that. And additionally, and I've said this before, he should have warned Florida. He should have warned Illinois. He should have told them, I value you. I want you and your family to be safe. Instead of waiting till April 1st to tell people in Wisconsin, don't go and vote. He has to lead. He has to lead, and he hasn't. And we've seen that since 2016.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
We have. Okay, I'm going to go back to 545. This is from Incredible Wa. $8 trillion divided by 350 million people equals $22,857.14. They should have just given us the money. We would have just given it to the corporations anyways.
Yeah. So that's what I keep
We've
saying.
asked this before.
So this is a legit question. I'm going to ask Dylan Radigan this question on Monday. Hopefully we're going to do the show on Monday with Dylan. Hopefully
we're taking Sunday off.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes, we're taking Sunday off.
Woo!
And you know why we're taking it off? Because our employees demand 2 days off a week. So I would keep going. But we, have to give, everyone's not a maniac like me, even though they're locked up too. So here's how Trump dealt with
I love you, Jimmy.
With
just
the
like
anointed
fucking me.
one.
You're fucking just
from
like
the
me.
royalty of the Republican family. This is how Trump dealt with it.
Yes, and it was a mistake. So George Bush made a mistake. We can make mistakes, but that one was a beauty. We should have never been in Iraq. While Donald Trump
was building a reality TV show.
Oh, this is
My
glorious.
brother was building a security apparatus to keep us safe, and I'm proud of what he did. And he's had the gall to go
The
after
World
my
Trade
mother.
Center came
He's
down
had the
during
gall
your
to go
brother's
after
reign.
my
Remember
mother.
that.
He
No, he
does-
didn't say it.
He gives no fucks.
And that's what I should have seen Bernie Sanders do to Joe Biden.
That's right. Hang on, here we go.
Let me finish. He's had the gall to go after my mother.
That's not keeping
Look, I
us
won
safe.
the lottery when
That's
I
not
was
keeping
born
us safe.
63 years ago. Looked up and I saw my mom. My mom is the strongest woman I know.
She should
This
be
is
running.
not about my family.
My mom is the strongest woman here. She should be running. It's hilarious. That's how he dealt with the anointed fucking successor.
So would you say that he was an outsider when he was running?
Yes. You know why? Because he was an outsider. Why? Because he didn't live in fucking D.C. He didn't fucking know those people. He didn't give a shit about them.
Or his.
Here's how he also dealt with Ted Cruz.
You are all talk and no
Name one
action. What
specific
I've
thing you've
seen
done.
up here, I mean, first of all, this guy's a joke artist and this guy's a liar. You have a combination. you have a combination.
I fucking love you, Jimmy Dore.
Factors. You are all talk and no
Name one
action. What
specific
I've
thing you've
seen
done.
up here, I mean, first of all, this guy's a joke artist and this guy's a liar. You have a combination.
guy always goes.
You have a combination of factors. He
This
can't
is so
do it for
typical.
the obvious reason, and he
But
can't do
here's
it
the
because
typical
he
thing he
doesn't
does.
know how to tell the truth.
He's beating the shit out of two guys at fucking once.
I love you, Jimmy. I fucking love you.
He can't do it for obvious reasons, and he can't do it because he can't tell the truth.
Hashtag Trump 2020,
Bam,
motherfuckers.
bam, fuck. He squashed both of them. A political novice fucking game show host who's wearing a raccoon on his head, and he still beat them. Here's how Bernie Sanders dealt with someone's corruption. Here's how Bernie Sanders dealt with someone's repeated lying about top secret material, about setting up a program that she was under an FBI investigation over it, and people we know are in jail for lots less. And here's how Bernie dealt with it.
Let me say something that may not be great politics, but I think the secretary is right. And that is that the American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you. Me too.
Now here's what somebody would say who actually wanted to become president would say. Do we really think at a time like this, when we're going up against Donald Trump, that we should be nominating someone who's under FBI investigation again? Should we really do that? Someone who has a long litany of selling influence through the Clinton Foundation to foreign governments for arms sales? Someone who's given $600,000 speeches to Walt. This is the person you wanted to go up against corruption? That's what someone would say who wanted to be president. What someone who wanted to be friends with the people after the campaign would say is what the fuck he just said. Because he don't want to be Ralph Nader. He don't even return Ralph Nader's calls since 2000. He wants to be someone's friend. That's what a loser says. A feckless campaigner. So, after Super Tuesday, all people wanted to know, people who vote in the Democratic primary, all they wanted to know was, could a Democrat be a decent person and beat Donald Trump? Can they beat Donald Trump? Well, you already know, everybody knows, the only thing people know about Bernie's campaign is that Joe Biden is his good friend. They know that. And so when asked, so if someone asks you, hey, do you think Joe Biden can beat Donald Trump? What you're supposed to say, if you want to be president, is the truth. You don't even have to lie. You tell the truth, which is, hell no. That's why I'm running. We tried this experiment before. Tried to run a Wall Street puppet who was a warmonger. Joe voted for the Iraq war and every war before and since. Look what they did to Libya. They're trying to do it to Syria. We're still in Afghanistan. Two terms, we stayed there. That's what he should say. We already tried this experiment. They lost to Donald Trump. That's why I'm running. No, of course he can't beat them. And of course, if it was me, I'd say, look at him. He's a demented walking death rattle. Can't even finish his sentence. But you don't have to say that. You don't even have to. You could say, but he doesn't look good. Joe doesn't look good. He can't finish a sentence. That's what he should say. Yes. So what is he going to say? He's not even going to tell you the truth. Because we all know that Joe Biden already lost to Donald Trump. Donald Trump just gave everybody Medicare for fucking coronavirus. Joe Biden still says no. Hillary Clinton says, let him buy it. We're out of bread. Let's sell him cake. Malcolm, you're missing your calling. So here's Bernie forfeiting the race. And as I heard, I don't know if I got this, as Glenn Greenwald would say, this is a fastball down the middle, right over the plate. This is when Bernie takes his home run swing because he sees it coming. It's a hanging curveball. Boom! Supposed to take this fucking one and drill it. And instead, he forfeits his campaign.
This is fucking epic.
Do you think
I want to do this. I want to do what you do, Jake.
I do.
It's so fun.
Campaign is over.
It's not how I want to make my money, but I just want to do it, you know? I don't
When
give a
have
fuck.
you seen a presidential candidate go on a show and allow them to ask that question and then you say yes? What kind of campaign is that? What kind of nonsense is that?
That's nonsense. That is someone who
doesn't want to win.
Let down his movement. You're letting down your movement. You're letting down people who need Medicare for all. You're letting down people who need student debt relief. You're letting down people who want a clean environment. You're letting down people who want a living wage, who want to go to. You're letting down. You have a responsibility to say, of course, Joe Biden's not going to beat Donald Trump. And if you guys are serious about getting rid of Donald Trump, vote for me. That's what you say. He forfeited. That's him forfeiting. Here's how Chuck Schumer forfeits and Hillary Clinton forfeits.
Every blue-collar Democrat we will lose in Western PA, we will pick up 2-3 moderate Republicans in the suburbs of Philadelphia. And you can repeat that in Ohio and Illinois and Wisconsin. Say it is Biden. You think Biden? Do you think say it is Biden? You think Biden can beat Trump?
I do.
That's not how a grown-up, serious person runs a campaign. He's not serious. He's not serious. That's not a serious candidate. And by the way, I got all these clips, which I'm sure I have most of them already somewhere. I got them all while I was watching Glenn Greenwald's new show. What's it called? It's called System Update. And he had his guest, he had Kyle Klinsky on this week. And those friends, it's a great show. I watched it this morning. It's a great show. So, I don't know what else to say. And so now it's time to pressure a guy like that, because that's a guy who obviously can be pushed around. And it's time for us to push him around. It's time for us to get upset that he doesn't stick up for Julian Assange. It's time for us to get upset that he's not going to use this moment right now to push his the solution to the problem right now, which would be Medicare for all. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. He's still in the race because I guess the theory is that Joe Biden will melt down because he's mentally unstable. He has the early mental decline. Is that how you're supposed to? I say he's demented. And I think that's what they're hoping for. But even if that happens, they're going to jam someone else down our throat. They're not going to go. They're going to say Bernie didn't even get 40%. He got less than half the. He didn't even get 30. He didn't even get 30 of the votes. We can't give it to a guy who didn't even get half the pledged delegate. He's not even halfway there. There's no way. No way. So if and that's and if that happens, if Biden does devolve, implode, and then the Democrats go looking for someone else, then that's when Bernie would have to say, okay, all my people are going to do something that you're not going to like. There's going to be some social unrest. You're not going to like it, and that's how you would have to. But they know he'll never do that. So if they thought he would do it, all he would have to do is threaten it. But they know he never will. So even if he did threaten it now, he has to follow through. He has to do something at some point. He has to do something so they will take him seriously. Because right now they don't. No one does. He doesn't take himself seriously. Is that a guy who takes himself seriously? A guy who says that to a fuck? What? That's not a guy who takes his campaign seriously. That's bullshit. So, I mean, that's political malpractice. That's Bernie giving up. That's a guy who doesn't have the courage to return Ralph Nader's phone calls since the year 2000. So it's time to start pressuring Bernie and everyone else who you like in government and people you don't like.
Hell yeah, that's what I do.
I don't know why libertarians are letting Rand Paul off the hook on this one. Maybe they're not. I know my friend Dave Smith isn't. So maybe we'll have him back on. Yeah, let's do that.
Hey, yeah, let's do that. Fucking let's do that, Jimmy. How about you have me on?
I don't know why Republicans
are awesome.
I don't know why the Tea Party people
are fucking awesome.
I don't get it.
Yeah, no,
because I think they don't know yet. People haven't been really told what's happening.
LOL.
And they certainly haven't been told by Bernie Sanders or the squad. They've been told, look at this. Hey, this isn't the bill we wanted.
But they're being told by you, Jimmy. Being told by you, JD. Keep it up, big dog.
We got it.
Keep it up, JD. Love you, buddy. Love you, dog.
You want me to do some comments?
Yeah.
Anthony Duralek, thank you so much. Thanks for being you. Jimmy Dore's illegitimate son, Trump/COVID payments isn't left. It's private insurance bailed out for trillions. They collect the premium and government foots their bills. Thank you, Jimmy Dore's illegitimate son. Cecil June, thank you. GT, you should invite Arami Osai Frimpong, the funky academic, on your show. He was on Rising and referenced in their book, Populist's Guide to 2020. Great recommendation. Rich Plain Groper. Would you ever go on Richard Spencer's show? He really respects your show. Jimmy, Richard Spencer's? I don't know. Raphael, day after day, it's good to see you. Keeping up the good work despite the blows. You have courage from Belgium. We fear the U.S., but we love Jimmy. Thank you. A. Gray, currently editing Rising clips for my YouTube channel. Right on, A. Gray. Joshua Bessam, as someone who maxed out for Bernie, I appreciate your honesty about him and his campaign. His policies have always been right, but that's not enough.
That's not enough. So when we come, We come back. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. We'll be back faster this time because I have to go. I just have to go to the little boys' room, and I'll be right back.
Thank you. Thank you so
This is
much.
a
Will you bring me
fucking
medicine?
blast, Jimmy
How
D.
nice of you. And you can
Jimmy
leave the
D,
door
dog.
warm in here right now. Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Die Godzilla, Door slashes ball 24. You too can totally win and transform the country and the world. Olivier Lesouillère. Thank you so much, Olivier. Dashing photo. Stephen Leslie, just wear a tie, James. Clothes make the man. Random government prints money. Why don't we pay tax? Tax strike. Why do we pay taxes? Tax strike, right? Steve Jacob, but Jimmy, Bernie invited their hatred, so they get mad at him. Michael J, please don't say Bernie lost in past tense. Armando Solorzano, Jimmy and Steph, you're the best. Please cover the new Horowitz meme exposing systemic FISA abuse. Seems like progressives aren't touching it. I think there's a lot going on, right? Hey, Bodie, you have more people watching than Comedy Central now. Paul V, this has been your best
Fuck
week
Comedy
ever.
Central.
Cheers with my Grey Goose in hand. Love you both. Hi, Steph. I'm Paul from Rochester, New York. We met in Buffalo. Great show. Send an email per your request. The FedEx guy. Okay, I'll be looking for it this weekend. Stephen Jacob. Coca-Cola hamburgers. I don't know what that means. Michael Montalban. Jimmy's hilarious. Anthony, empty storefront sounds like every Rust Belt city. Fisk, Google, Bernie equals learned helplessness. Random, Steph, please do Bernie more lemons imitate. Oh, yeah. My impression of Bernie Sanders at a restaurant. My impression of Bernie Sanders at a restaurant. Waitress, more lemons. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Alex Alvarenitis. Politics is a game of fear. Those who don't have the ability to frighten power, elites, will succeed. Appealing to the better nature of the powerful is useless. They don't have one. Hedges. God, Alex, nice. Hey, Richard Johnson. Victory. Thank you. Professor Mayfly, thank you so much. Professor Mayfly, you're back. Jimmy, the 1200 is a tax credit that comes out of your 2020 returns. Yep. Bobon. We Trump supporters admire you, liberals, for your misguided passion. We think that we can reach your goals through a different approach, but you are being led by spineless snakes while we are happy in the leadership of a roaring lion. What's it called? That he's a who's it? Oh shoot! He's a roaring lion. I think that is Bobon. That is such a nice description of Trump's leadership. A roaring lion. Yikes. Observer. Clyburn was never gonna endorse. He is owned by Big Pharma and Big Insurance, got several millions over 10 years from them. But didn't he endorse Bernie in 2016? Huh? Check it out. Observer, thank you so much. JK, Bernie Sanders, the nice guy, told me that I and fellow progressives are toxic in stereo with corporate media. Bernie the nice guy told me that I am and my fellow progressives are toxic in stereo with corporate media. No kidding. Big meaning. GOP stabs you in the front, Dem stab you in the back. J77, I hear Narratanda will melt if you people pour water on her. I heard that too. I don't know if it's a fact. Brian Dowd, Bernie did not want to end up like Ralph Nader. Ralph Nader was the last guy to do anything remotely good for this country. Hopefully there are more of us. GDNPB. Bernie's character is not that of a revolutionary leader. And I think that we all see that now. So who is and how can we get them to take the lead? Nina Turner, Dem Party is death for progressives. Third Party, I love Nina Turner. So what you have to understand right now, we have Bernie. Right now, we have Bernie. You push him. And that's what we're going to do. We're challenging him and his campaign and his supporters to keep pushing because America's worth it. You're worth it. We're mean. You're not mean. when you are working for the best for America. That's not mean. That's such a childish way to look at something, that you're mean, pushing these people to the left to do what's right. Healthcare, it's not mean. Mark Vaccaro, Canada confirms Dore Garage among best journalists in USA. That's hilarious. Tom Vencial, thank you so much. Paul V, we do have to abandon the cult of personality and our utterly broken and antiquated historical process. Don't worry, Jimmy. It feels lonely on the island now, but I am with you. Let's resurrect the left. Tom Vencial, please investigate DE, Diomatius Earth, as a COVID-19 treatment. DE kills viruses on contact. Tom, thank you. Oh, my goodness. Hold on here. Apu, how are you, Apu? New Bernie was a pushover when, during a speech in 2016, he handed his podium over to Black Lives Matter activists. He's a good guy, but feckless, like his campaign. He did what was right at that moment. He did exactly what was right. Letting those people speak, letting those young voices hit the stage in front of a captive audience so they can yell and they can show their concern about what the fuck was going on. I'm okay with that. I thought it actually showed humanity. He has to balance with that spine he has. I know he has it. Omar, she could have pulled a Tulsi on Bernie. Also, he didn't ask for it. What makes you think he should ask Tulsi? Gotcha. Chris Chappelle, Bernie should have attacked Biden like a junkyard dog. His policy was great, but Americans want an alpha. Basically, he has great policy and terrible tactics. His personality killed him. But his personality got him there. And it was about follow through. It was about follow through. And it wasn't about speaking to Joe Biden that night. It was about speaking to America. And he could have easily said, I'm not going to diminish Joe Biden. His record is out there for all of you to look at. I'm talking about tonight. I'm talking about tomorrow. I'm talking about our future. Oh, I understand there's some great people in the Bernie campaign, and I understand that there are also some people that are divisive and undermining in the Bernie campaign, as usual. What a shame. Louise Brooks, Shahid Buttar was on Convo Couch and was totally propped up COVID bill. They had to pass it. They had to pass it. Oh, no, he said that. Come on, Shahid. Augustus Johnson, COVID-19, loved their last album. Great EDM. Buster Peak 21, if I didn't have Jimmy during the lockdown, I'd lose my fucking mind. Thank you. Watson Malthrop, name anything, an issue whatsoever, when it is wise to use the less effective measures, ? Hashtag, give us Bernie platform or I go green. Thank you for your outrage. Thank you, Watson. MJ, trust the plan for the QAnon weirdos. We need action and accountability. Rich Newman, keep it up. I'm with your happy pair. Ann Kerner, Joe Rogan 2024. Aaron Livingston, love it. Go get him. You get it. Red Gladius, I fell for Justice Democrats once. We need an urgent insurgency in the local level. Feds are far too gone. Hashtag ground up revolution. Joe Justin, thank you so much. Drywall O, thank you so much. CIO Spookfuck. Hold on. One moment. I'm just texting the man, making sure he knows his time is up. Okay, hold on here. Hey. Boom. There, I did the hey. Great. Drywall. Who I was CIA Spookfuck. Honestly, that's my favorite name tonight. That is my favorite handle. Speaking of CIA plants, where's Mike?
Hashtag CIA Spookfuck.
I love Mike. I love him. T-Day, thank you. You're my number one fan, right on Adam F. What did you 2 or 3 do to Santa? I know, right? Rich Newman, thank you so much. Oh, I couldn't even. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Rocco Marie Cabareri, bring it to Bernie. Go get him, Jimmy. You got it, Rocco and Marie. AE message retracted. The mystery will stay with me forever. I love you, Steph. Can't wait to hear you giggle. Love, Steph. Oh, pessimistic college student. I love you right back. Eric, behind you 100%, Jimmy. So over Bernie Sanders. Hold the F on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. So, usually Ruby translates names for me, but I found a translator. Let's see what this is. Let's see this one. Ershoff Alexander. Ershoff Alexander, how are you, Ershoff? Hey, Jimmy, Steph, Ruby, thank you. Wish we had someone like you in Russia. Hope you are safe and will continue your fight. Stay safe. Oh, Ershoff, thank you so much. Zachary Dunn, talk about Cuomo's nipple rings. Why? Anna Christina Harris, Jimmy Dore for President 2024. Cody Saunders, dependent 17 plus won't receive a check. College kids? No, the what? Stephen Leslie, happy to hear your thoughts on Bernie, Jimmy. It's hard to not feel let down by Bernie. Tulsi and other progressives who did nothing to stop the wealth transfer aren't fighting for health care, etc. Oh, Stephen, I'm depressed. And I have a headache. Hold on. Let's see, did I get a response? I did not get a response. Hey. All right, I'm back. Thank you, Stephen Leslie. Bruce Liu, thanks for your passion. Sarah Chen, Jimmy, critique Bernie is what we need to hear to balance the craziness. By the way, I love when you feature Crystal Ball. She's my fave, besides Steph. You're in my heart forever, Sarah. Sarah, did we meet? DTPDX, 1, apply for Amazon credit card. 2, pay rent. 3, default. Bezos pays his taxes. Bobwa, doctors, did you hurt yourself? Is that what I heard? Yeah, I heard it. I'm in here and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. It's okay. Yeah. And you know what this goes down to? I'm going to tell you right now. You're tired.
So here's Robert.
Don't ignore me. Don't you fucking ignore me.
So here's Robert.
Wait, no. I'm not going further until I get something.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry you had to see that right now. That's not what I wanted you to see. But I have a headache.
I'm glad they saw it.
I'm sorry you saw it.
People get that.
All right. I'm sorry you saw that. I'm sorry. Not really. Who cares? Bobwa Doctor.
Here, come to me. You do what you want.
Come to Jimmy. Thank you.
So Robert Reich. You all know who Robert Reich is. So this guy, I saw him have a debate with Chris Hedges about why you have to vote for Hillary. So I don't think he's doing that anymore.
Robert Reich, is it?
I don't think he's doing that shit anymore. I don't think he's gonna have a debate with anybody and tell him why you gotta vote for Joe fucking Biden.
We'll see, Jimmy.
1 second.
We'll see, JD. We'll fucking see, won't we? Hashtag Trump 2020.
Yes, Howie. I don't know if you're watching me, Howie Score, but he texted me a picture of Bill Maher doing his show from his backyard. And
Maher. Hashtag Bill Maher.
He says, watching Bill, Amy Klobuchar gives me a boner. Maher, without an audience, shows how much he sucks and how good you are at what you do. Well, thank you. That's what I started off the show saying. It's the great unmasking. We're seeing all those shows. And by the way, Stephen Cole, go ahead.
It's just a different kind of funny now.
It's a different kind of funny, and they all look like first time. Bill Maher literally had a laugh track playing under his jokes, like not for a joke But for 7 minutes they did it. They had a laugh track. Anyway, who cares? I did a laugh track one time. What did I put it on? It was something. I tried to sweeten something, but it doesn't work. It didn't. I was like, no, it doesn't work. Anyway, so here's Robert Reich, and he says there's no reason to bail out big companies. That's what he says. There's not even a reason to do it. What? Hang on, let's listen.
From the global financial crisis, and you look at where we are today with the major stimulus coming out of Congress and potentially trillions more, are these the type of bills, are these the type of spending packages that are going to maybe rectify some of the damage, some of the inequities that were exacerbated after the global financial crisis, or is it just going to make them worse?
Well, the bailout part of the big bill, I think, is unnecessary. Big companies don't need to be bailed out. You don't have to bail out airlines and aircraft and Boeing. I mean, these companies have already been through bankruptcy several times. They know how to handle their debts. They have a lot of collateral. It's a waste of taxpayer money. On the other hand, giving each individual in the United States $1,200.
So just let me stop. It's a waste of money. We don't have to do this. And they did it immediately before they even did health care.
No, can I just have to.
And your progressive leaders let it happen. They put up no resistance to it whatsoever. They let it happen. Go ahead. What?
The only problem for me was, for some reason, the beginning of this, the audio, made me immediately think it was Mike McRae.
Oh, well, there's more to this.
Yeah,
there's more to
go
this.
ahead.
Is fine. It's a step in the right direction. But in terms of what a family actually needs to live on during a crisis like this, when we want people to be home, it's a drop in the bucket. I think it's almost an insult.
So, Robert.
So the $1,200 that everyone said, that's why they had to vote for it?
They had to.
They had to, because for the $1,200? Former Secretary of Labor under Clinton calls the Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi stimulus bill an insult. Why? It's an insult. Just so you know. That's the bill Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer put together, and then Bernie Sanders and the squad all voted for. The former Secretary of Labor under Bill Clinton calls it as an insult. Okay. And also unnecessary. They didn't even have to do it. So what they should have done was taken that $4.2 trillion and given it in everybody's pocket right now.
That'd be all right.
But of course they didn't do that. They didn't even give you health care. Now Bernie Sanders has to pretend like he's going to somehow pull it off when Trump's already out in front of him.
So when we talk about stabilizing the economy and potentially stimulating the economy, is there some sense here, though, that you do need to, at times, in certain circumstances, work from the top down? The idea being that is, if you don't save the airlines, and there won't be jobs left for the people who originally had worked there. Is there the sense here that if you don't sort of prop up these industries and give them sort of the capacity to sort of get back up and running to where they were before, that maybe the damage could be worse from a bottom-up approach?
Well, for very big companies, I think that's a form of trickle-down economics. We've tried it several times before in terms of subsidies and tax cuts and so on. It really doesn't work. Nothing trickles down to average people.
So, of course, the Bloomberg employee's question is, look, don't we have to give money to the corporate? Don't we have to give it to the top first and let it trickle down? Because if we give it to the bottom first, it might not work. That's what he said. That's what that guy works at Bloomberg. And what did Robert Reich say? No, of course not. You're saying it's going to trickle down. That's not how it works. It never does. Never, ever does. But this is the bill that everybody just voted for. 96 to nothing.
These big companies, again, they can take care of themselves, and they will take care of themselves, and they'll make sure that whatever money is given to them somehow gets the top executives and the biggest shareholders. No, I think that what we really do need to do is take a deep breath and say the people who need help are the people we want, and these are average Americans. We want people to stay home for their own good. This is not about stimulating the economy. It's about a health crisis, and that health crisis requires that people shelter in place. And when they shelter in place, they need money to pay the bills, to pay the rent, to get food, to just simply stay and keep their families safe. That's what this is all about.
So if Robert Reich knows this, Congress knows it too. So why would they do this? Because they do what their corporate overlords tell them to. And you go, but Jimmy, the Squad and Bernie, they don't take corporate money. They do what the party tells them to do. They do what their leader tells them to do. Because Bernie doesn't want to end up like Ralph Nader. And the Squad are all climbers. Just like any politician. They're politicians. So they didn't even have to do this. Have you heard any progressive politicians say that? That they didn't even have to do this? Have you heard anybody say that?
Where'd you find it? Somebody sent it to you?
Yes.
Because I haven't seen this anywhere.
Mark Van Landy.
Ah, nice work, Mark.
He's sending me a message.
Ruby is. Stand by.
Okay, forget it. I wanted to show Bill Maher's show. And I was asking if that would be flagged. Anyway, it will be. I was told so.
How weird.
Sometimes we can play Bill Maher and get away with it. HBO, it's how much they... Anyway. I really, really wanted to show it to you, but I can't take that copyright charge. I can't take it. So, there you go. Has anybody told you that they didn't even need to do this? And then the next question a reporter would ask, then why didn't you object to your leadership? Why didn't you call them out? That would be the next question. Why didn't you call them out if this bill isn't even necessary? Why are you voting for it? No, because they are not going to cross Nancy Pelosi, and they're not going to cross the media, because they don't want to take the wrath of the media, and they don't want to take the wrath of Nancy Pelosi. You tell fucking me why they voted for it.
Love you, JD.
Nancy Pelosi, first thing she said when she came out and gave a speech about what they were doing on the stimulus, she said, "We are united." That's the first thing she said. Who gives a shit if you're united? That's her showing how good I am. See, I got fucking everybody to go along with this. That's what Nancy Pelosi said. We are united. Yes. So,
yeah, well, she was the one who had the great idea of making the vaccine affordable.
Yeah. First thing she said, we're going to make the vaccine affordable.
You know, this whole crisis has exposed the ugliness of our politics and the lack of representation for the people. It's overwhelming.
And so here's another thing I found out. So how much would you pay per year under Bernie Sanders' health care plan? Where are you going to come up with $30 trillion? Bernie doesn't tell you how much it's going to cost, how he's going to pay for it. Here's how much you would pay for it. So let's say you made $70,000 a year, right? Your bill would be $1,600 a year for health care.
A year?
A year for health care. That's it.
Not a month, a year?
If you made $60,000, it'd be $1,200 a year. If you made $50,000, it'd be $800 a year. And if you made under 30, it wouldn't cost you anything. If you made $30,000 a year, they'd charge you $40 for your health care. If you made $40,000, they'd charge you $400. And it goes all the way up to, if you made $1 million, they charge you $38,000 a year for your health care. If you made $1 million. Right now, we pay about $20,000 a year for our health care. And all they're going to do is charge $1 million is $38,000. So I don't know why he never did say this. Like, I don't know if he did say it. He never said it when I watched him. and I certainly watched them a lot. How are you going to pay for it? This is what it's going to cost if you make $50,000 a year. It's going to cost you. I don't know why. And Bernie's cradle to grave healthcare includes dental, mental, vision, hearing, and in-home care for seniors. No insurance premiums, no deductibles, yearly $200 prescription cap, no huge copay bills. ACA Obamacare funding is $49 trillion over 10 years. Bernie's Medicare for all is $32 trillion over 10 years. Saves trillions of dollars. Why couldn't he say that? He barely, when Joe Biden's, how are you going to pay? Joe, it saves us trillions of dollars. And the only reason you don't know that is because you're paid not to know it. Just like the people in the news, because they're funded by big pharma right now. They're going to go to a commercial for a drug. Anyway, I don't understand that he has horrible campaign. He had a horrible campaign. Glenn Greenwald, I watched the show. As I told you, he makes the critique that, which was, thank God, back what I was saying. When Bernie would say, "Oh, Donald Trump was the most corrupt president," I said that gets you nothing. That doesn't get you anything. Why do you want to sound just like every other Democrat? Why did you do Russiagate? Because you're not smart enough. And nobody in his campaign was smart enough to get out from underneath Russiagating himself, which he ended up doing. I said, as soon as you do this, it's going to come back, and of course it did. They Russiagated themselves. Anyway, all right. I don't know. So, what else do I want to show you? Oh, I want to show you Joe Rogan.
You're going to show me Joe Rogan? Thank you.
So Joe Rogan,
yes, Jimmy. Thank you so fucking much.
He loved Tulsi Gabbard. And then he endorsed
I was
Bernie
waiting
Sanders.
for this.
And those are his two favorite candidates, Bernie and Tulsi.
Candidates
And when he endorsed
Candidates
Bernie Sanders put that out on his Twitter, and they touted it because the whole thing about why you gotta nominate a moderate is because moderate can get you could get independents to vote for you, right? That's the whole thing. Oh, they could get independents. You got to get the independents to swing the election. Well, if there's anybody who represents the independents, it's Joe Rogan, right? And his audience, right? And so here's what he said about Joe Biden.
This is the real issue with the Democratic Party. They've essentially made us all morons.
Yeah.
With this Joe Biden thing. They really have.
Can you
made us all
imagine?
Morons.
Who do we need? I mean,
I can't vote for that guy.
I can't vote for him.
I can't vote for him.
I can't vote for Trump.
I'd rather vote for Trump than him. I don't think he can handle anything. I mean, you're relying entirely on his cabinet. Like, if you want to talk about an individual leader that can communicate, he can't do that. And we don't even know what the fuck he's going to be like after a year in office.
So that's what Joe Rogan said. And now, which is what you remember all the people saying I won't vote for Bernie? Do you remember when Donnie Deutsch on MSNBC said I'm going to vote for Trump if Bernie's the nominee? Do you remember that? I remember that. Mm-hmm. People have been saying that left and right. But now because someone said I'm not going to vote for a guy who's obviously demented and can't finish a sentence, and you're all making us into morons, we're all supposed to go, yeah, let's vote for the guy who's basically mentally deficient, who's not all there. And we're all supposed to go along with this? Like, that's how corrupt the Democratic Party is. That's how broken and calcified they are. And he's like, you're not going to make a sucker out of me. And he's right. He's 100% right. And, I'm not going to vote for Trump. I'm going to vote for the Peace and Freedom Party person, probably. Jose says, remember how the Bernie campaign was flaunting the Joe Rogan endorsement? Well, turns out that Joe Rogan would rather vote for Trump over Biden. Considering how close the Bernie campaign was to Rogan, seems important for Bernie, or at least his campaign, to issue a statement. Yeah, Bernie's got to make sure he's a good little boy. He's a good little Democrat. Bernie's got to make sure he's a good little Democrat. Oh, I can't believe someone would vote for somebody else. So what Kyle Kalinske says is, yes, Bernie must apologize for Biden being so weak that swing voters preferred Trump over him. Because that's what that reveals. That swing voters are going to vote for Trump over Biden. That's what that reveals. You can't run a guy who's obviously demented. Just because your media won't talk, just because Chris Hayes and Rachel Maddow are fucking bought and sold for, they won't fucking tell you that he's demented. Just because they won't tell you that doesn't mean he isn't. They're lying. How could you keep turning to those news that, like, right now, how could you still turn on Rachel Maddow and Chris Hayes knowing they're lying to you about Joe Biden? Knowing they lied to you about Bernie Sanders, but now they're also lying to you about Joe Biden. They're playing you for a chump because they have no integrity or moral center or not. They're not good people. They're fucking bought and paid for pieces of capitalist paper. That's all. They're a commodity. They've turned their integrity into a commodity and it's for sale. Because you don't think nerds will lie to you. And they know that. That's why they hired nerds.
Hashtag
to lie to
Resistance
you.
Radio, JD. I'm just spreading the word.
Here's what Bakari Sellers.
And putting my own 2 cents in, too.
He said, when we told you about Joe Rogan, we were scolded. You guys have all been saying you're not going to vote for Bernie. Liberal logic, whenever Trumpers say they'll vote for Biden against Trump but not Bernie, that's a reflection of Biden's appeal. So whenever Trumpers say they'll vote for Biden against Trump but not for Bernie, that's a reflection of Biden's appeal. But when Joe Rogan says he'll vote for Bernie against Trump but not Biden, it means Bernie attracts terrible people. See how that's inconsistent? And the inconsistent logic favors the establishment once again. Get in line. Get in line. Ryan Grimm says, the question of touting Rogan aside, he didn't handle it well. He did, of course. That Rogan now supports Trump over Biden is exactly the point Bernie was making. Bernie said he was the one who could uniquely flip people from barbarism to socialism. So this makes his point. It doesn't refute it. Perfectly said by Ryan Grimm. Perfect. This makes his point. Of course. Do you see that they're going to vote for me and not Biden? That's why you guys should have nominated me. Well, Bernie couldn't make that case. It's up to Ryan Grimm to fucking make that case for him. Ryan Grimm makes it better than his campaign ever fucking. Yeah, by the way, he wouldn't even say it. You know what Bernie says when they ask him? You know what Bernie says when they ask him? Oh, that's the wrong one.
I put it in the fridge.
God damn.
Here's what Bernie says when they ask him.
Do you think, say it is Biden, do you think Biden can beat Trump? I do.
I know, it's gotta be, if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Jimmy.
I'm telling you right now, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. I'm fucking telling you right now.
Jimmy Jam, Peppy22 said, Jimmy Fallon said that Biden is an eloquent speaker.
Who said that?
Jimmy Fallon of Joe Biden. He's an eloquent speaker. Thank you, Peppy22.
Thank you, Peppy. Here's Joe Biden. I found this on the Twitters today. Here's Joe Biden.
Oh.
People still watch MSNBC and CNN and think they're getting news. People still think they're getting news.
Jimmy, I do a sneak peek every so often on Rachel Maddow, Chris, and Brian. And the other day, what was happening was Rachel was really upset about Trump, if that can surprise you at all.
Oh, shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Was she outraged? Was she flummoxed and outraged?
Well, she let me know in every which way how upset she was at Trump and the poor way he managed the coronavirus. Seeing that MSNBC was out in front of this story for years.
They were covering the impeachment instead of warning everybody about the coronavirus, right? If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Chris Hayes, fake tough guy Lawrence O'Donnell, Chris Hardball's gone forever, to join Bill O'Reilly and that sex harassers podcast in the sky. Tip of the day, Bill O'Reilly. You know, if you drink water before a meal, you'll probably eat less. Tip of the day, Bill O'Reilly. That's the kind of shit he does now. I'm not kidding. Tip of the day.
Tip of the day.
So, this the blue check Hollywood fucking drives me nuts. So Judd Apatow, he makes all those good movies. He did 40-Year-Old Virgin, right? Didn't he do that?
I'm sure he did.
He does lots of good movies.
Please don't test me on titles of movies.
He does very funny movies. And I saw him do stand up, and his stand up was also surprisingly good. Why do you say surprisingly, Jimmy? Because if you don't do comedy all the time, it's hard to be good at it. You lose your fastball right away after a week. Anyway, that's why. So anyway.
Knocked Up. This is 40. The 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah.
Funny People. Super Bad. Trainwreck.
Yeah.
Heavyweights. Anchorman. The Legend.
Anchorman was hilarious.
Bridesmaids. Step Brothers.
Step Brothers also.
Pineapple Express.
Saw it. Loved it. Makes lots of great movies. Wow, damn, he's got quite a...
Talladega Nights.
Fucking hilarious. Also hilarious.
Okay, Talladega Nights were hardest laughs.
What is it?
Sweet Baby Jesus.
I pray to the baby Jesus.
That would be that would be like the movie that I like to play. Like when I had a projector, I would play a movie outside, and my friends would just go, "We saw that one already." I'm like, "But it's so funny. Why wouldn't you want to laugh?"
So he tweeted out, remember when that other president talked about all the models he slept with at a press conference about a pandemic? Oh, that never happened because we've never had such a craven freak in charge before. Register to vote. When we all vote, we can make him go away. So now, you know my big peeve is, hey, why don't you tweet at the goddamn shitty Democrat politicians who sold us out, the workers, not you, he's a gazillionaire, sold out the country to fucking Wall Street, big pharma, and oil, and military industrial companies. Why don't you tweet at those to get better, so people vote for someone besides him? Like, that's the problem. Like, I don't mind you hating on Trump and wanting to replace him, but that's all you do. You don't ever pressure your politicians to be fucking better. Hey, Nancy Pelosi, why don't you quit being corrupt? Hey, why don't Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, why didn't you guys do something for people in the fucking stimulus bill? So I don't have to tell people to register to vote because people will want to come out and vote for someone because you're doing something for them. Never. You'll never see that tweet. Because that never crosses his mind because he doesn't have any problems he needs government to solve. He just doesn't like that Trump's an asshole. That's it. He just doesn't like that Trump's an asshole. It bothers him personally. But then he can't 2 and 2. Oh, how did we get Trump? Oh, it's because Barack Obama governed like a Republican. That's not me talking. That's Barack Obama talking. Can you imagine if a Republican got elected over Barack? Let's say John McCain beat Barack. Let's just say. And then, do you think John McCain would have been allowed to make the banks bigger during that crisis? Do you think he would have been allowed to take us from 2 wars to 7? Do you think he would have been allowed to open the Arctic to drilling twice? Do you think he would have been allowed to repeal the regulation that said we can't export fossil fuels, which has led to fracking pipes underneath all over this country? Do you think McCain would have been allowed? No. Barack Obama was uniquely positioned to get that shit done because nobody was watching. He puts the left to sleep. Just like when Bill Clinton ran against George Bush the first, Bill Clinton was not the lesser of 2 evils. Bill Clinton was the more evil guy. What do you mean, Jimmy? Because George Bush the first tried to pass NAFTA and he couldn't. Bill Clinton could. He gave the Blue Dog Democrats cover to vote for a bill that everybody in the unions know was cutting them off at the knees. They couldn't do that. They all stood up against George Bush. They didn't stand up against Bill Clinton, just like fucking Barack Obama. Now are you starting to get it? That the lesser of 2 evils probably would have been John McCain because we wouldn't have let him do all that shit, Barack Obama. Do you think we would have let John McCain kick 5.1 million families out of their house in the middle of a depression? Do you think we would have let him do that? No. But Barack Obama, a black guy with a Muslim name, was doing it, and he sweet-talked us, and we thought that's how it had to be. It's not how it has to be. They're proving it right now. They just gave $4.2 trillion to the richest thousand. They could have saved everybody's house. They're giving the banks $1 trillion a day right now. Barack Obama just didn't feel like fucking helping you. He just didn't feel like it. Judd Apatow has no idea about any of that. I guarantee you, he has no idea. He walks around going, Barack Obama, best president of my lifetime. I'll guarantee you that's what he does. So that's what drives me. This is the people in Hollywood. That's what drives me fucking nuts. And even my friends who I started with who made it now, they think like this. People who used to write me notes when my show started, encouraged me. This is your people need. Now they all think like this. And not one of them ever does a tweet or a joke or anything aimed at the politicians who were so horrible that people got so desperate they voted for a game show host. They'll never think to tweet at fucking Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, hey, what the fuck? Never. So what I said, yeah, vote for it. He'll never tweet at the Democratic Party. Why are you putting up I said, yes, vote for a demented, 100% corrupt, sociopathic, lying, warmongering, sex harasser who is a complete puppet of Wall Street and has screwed workers for decades and promises to veto health care in the middle of a pandemic. Brilliant. FYI, that is not a solution. Like, why doesn't he say this? Why isn't he screaming that this is who the Democrats want you to fucking vote for? How dare you make fucking morons out of all of us? Why doesn't he say that? No, what does he fucking tell you? Go fucking vote. Make sure you register. We got our guy. Isn't that stupid? Yeah, it is. And how do I know it's stupid? Because a dumb guy like me knows it. That's stupid. God, I would love to be that out of touch. Imagine having all that power. No one ever tells you no. Oh, all the money in the world. Everybody's sucking your dick, licking your balls, and any other part of your genitalia I can think of that they can do oral things to. Imagine that life that Judd Apatow lived. Everywhere he goes, you think the mafia people had, I think, oh, God. Imagine all the doors that are open. Oh, can I get you anything, Mr. Apatow? Why don't you come up and see me? Oh, I would definitely have sex with him if he wanted to have sex with me. I'm not saying he does. I'm saying if he wanted to Harvey Weinstein me, I'd be all for it. You put me in the next, put me in the 50-year-old version. I'll do it.
Really took a turn there. Really took a turn. I wasn't expecting that part.
I'm just talking about trying to get ahead. I'm just saying I'm just trying to get ahead.
Okay.
I would do. I'm just saying I'm not better than anybody. Except the people who host MSNBC and CNN. Okay, go ahead.
All right. I'm on Bobwa Doctor. Andrea Palm, Secretary of Health. That's how Ohio did. RJRS, just some insight from New York. My dad's best friend, 2 of my mother's aunts, and 2 of my business clients have all died from COVID with the past 5 days. I can't even imagine that. RJ, I'm sorry. Are you all self-quarantining? Come on. Not in Wisconsin, huh? Not in Wisconsin. Getting ready to go vote. Way to go. Isn't it weird that Wisconsin... That is so weird. Jimmy, will you open my keynote? I know, it sounded dirty. Will you open my keynote over there? Because I have a Wisconsin story.
Whoa, hey, how about, you want a little bit of my PowerPoint? You know what I'm talking about?
No, but how about a little Zoom? Hey, Ben Tahoe, OG. JD, we must vote for our 437th favorite choice, Joe Biden. At Shadow Zach 09, Jimmy, do you know Biden told Bernie he was already looking for a vice president? DM says, oh, let's see what you just said, DM. Bitches. Oh, that would be great. I have to find DM. I wonder where I was, DM. I wasn't there. Shit. I'm sorry I lost it, everybody. Wow, this moved a lot. I have to find. Oh, I found it. Hope you are safe. Yes, yes. Okay, I know where I am now. Okay, Jimmy Dore, President 2024. Headache. Andrea, RJ. Gotcha. Favorite choice. Oh, I'm at 626. Oh, headache. Bernie donor, but 100% support Jimmy and Steph on this. Don't let up. Sick of the DC kayfabe where the left always takes the scripted dive. Oh, Carlos Camelo, chances Ilhan and AOC get primary. Nil. Did Steph dump that jack off? Yeah, no. Lorraine Espo. How about a couple minutes at the end of each show dedicated to stress management? Because we know stress depletes the immune system, and which is crucial during the pandemic. I'll speak slower, more sultrier as the end approaches. Joseph Hurst is the reason there is no homeless in China because they are all sent to a re-education body dismemberment camp. We love ya. Hey, thank you, Joseph. Yeah, but we'll ask him about that. We'll ask him. Oh, Zenya. Hi, Zenya. It's Jenya. Oh, Jenya. But people call me Jen. I'm definitely no Xena. Hello. Hello, Jenya. True free thinkers, it is a good idea for people to walk out when unemployment is high, question mark. What will stop millions from lining up for the job you strike on? I know. I hear you. Those are called scabs. And that's why we have to do this logistically, incrementally, and do stoppages. Maybe not to make people's jobs that vulnerable, but I'm sure there's systems. Hey, you know what? A lot of us are on YouTube. I watched a couple very informational about strikes and general strikes. And here's the element that's very different is during a pandemic. So I definitely want to talk, and I know a couple of you have already emailed me, and I'll be going through that stuff this weekend, which is Sunday. True free thinkers, it is a good idea. Thank you. We'll work on that. Seth Marks, Governor Cuomo issued an executive order to redistribute medical supplies from upstate and western New York to send to New York City via National Guard. I wonder if we'll get them back when we need. No, Seth. No. Cuomo is going to do what Cuomo wants, and it doesn't matter that he could have had all of this in place already. But wasn't it over the last 20 years they've cut 20,000 beds in New York City? I don't know. Please cover Julian Assange being denied bail. Yes, I have that queued up. Let's see what's next. Let's see what I have here. Hold on. Let's see. So hold on. Let me do this. Okay, really quickly, let's go to the other screen, and I'll cover this really quickly. But the UK government won't release Assange amid virus. This is from the Canberra Times, Marty Silt. Julian Assange will not be among those temporarily released from jail under the UK government plan. There are 88 prisoners and 15 staff who've tested positive for COVID in the country, and more than a quarter of the prison staff are absent or self-isolating due to the pandemic. Justice Secretary Robert Buckland has announced that selected low-risk offenders who are within weeks of their release dates will be GPS tagged and temporarily freed to ease pressure on the National Health Service. This government is committed to ensuring that justice is served to those who break the law, he said in a statement on Saturday. But this is an unprecedented situation because if coronavirus takes hold in our prisons, the NHS could be overwhelmed and more lives put at risk. The Ministry of Justice confirmed with the AAP that Julian Assange, who is being held on remand in Belmarsh Prison, will not be temporarily released because he is not serving a custodial sentence and therefore not eligible. The Ministry of Justice confirmed that the AAP, that Julian Assange, who is being not eligible, the government is also working to expedite sentence hearings for those on remand to reduce the crowding in the jail, but the Australian won't be affected by that measure either. The WikiLeaks founder is only 1 week into his 4-week U.S. extradition hearing. At this stage, it's uncertain whether it will even resume, planned at Woolwich Crown Court on May 18th. Assange's next procedural hearing is set for Westminster Magistrate Court on Tuesday. He applied for bail last week, by the way, with his lawyers citing concerns about the risk of the coronavirus, but he was knocked back by the district judge, Vanessa Baraister. Her ruling, she said the Australian had skipped bail in the past and taken refuge in the Ecuadorian embassy in London for almost 7 years, making him a flight risk. The U.S. government is trying to extradite Assange to face 17 charges of violating the Espionage Act and one of conspiring to commit computer intrusion over the leaking and publishing of thousands of classified U.S. diplomatic and military files. Some of those files revealed alleged U.S. war crimes in Iraq and Afghanistan. The U.S. charges carry a total sentence of 175 years imprisonment, and this is according to the AAP Press, Canberra Times. So, Mr. Broken Naz, I don't want to cover that. It's awful, and we know that he's in dire straits now, and that we want to make sure that Julian Assange is taken care of. Look what they're doing to this one person. We are disposable. That's what we're learning. We're disposable. And you better not threaten the long arm of the U.S. government. All right, continuing, this is for Bernie was controlled opposition to choke out the progressive lane. He was a great sheepdog for the corporate DNC. Thank you, Free Bird. AE, thank you very much. Joseph Hurst, thank you very much. Greg Sanders, grazie. Manuel Araujo, good job, Jimmy, for exposing Amazon. I just saw a new Amazon commercial talking about how much they did care for their employees. I know. I was trying to film that. I haven't gotten it. It's awful. All the propaganda that you're seeing about how great Amazon is to their people it's awful. None of your business. Thanks. Please check out Shahid's answering my question about election integrity on Convo Couch. He is very brave. Also, Tim Canova's petition. Okay, gotcha. Thank you so much. Big fans of Convo Couch. R. Harding, I'm at 633. Jimmy, did you see the Wisconsin farmers are dumping hundreds of thousands of gallons of perfectly good milk? No, I haven't seen that. Andrew Woodridge, how do we begin organizing? It feels like we have no workers' movement to join, nor labor leaders to follow. I'm just as angry as JD and want to act. We'll be working on that. We're good friends with Nick Brana from Movement of the People's Party. I know they're working on certain elements about joining forces. And let's continue while we try to organize. We organize our elected officials, like Bernie Sanders and AOC and Ilhan Omar, to start with. I am thirsty. All right, Andrew Wooldridge. Thank you very much. We're going to be working on that, about organizing. But you know what? Do me a favor, buddy. Will you also go online and look up a couple people who've actually talk about? I went on a couple of the TED Talks about protests and organizing. And the one element that was very apparent is it's about people connecting with other people, which makes it harder during a pandemic, but we can't do it because we have this kind of outreach, social media, Instagram, that we can still make those connections on a worker's level. Andrew, thank you. Brendan Stone, muchas gracias, GD and PB. Trump, med for all. You must take vax to get it. No, I haven't read that anywhere. Well, I haven't read the bill. But I haven't seen that anywhere. Them looking for votes at the moment is more extraction at the expense of your health and your lives, where you receive nothing in the end. Surprise? That's by magnetic perturbation. Michael J. Steph, thank you for everything you bring to the show. It wouldn't be as great as it is without you. Thank you, Michael. May I call you Miguel? Codename Big Mouth. Oh my God, Jimmy Dore's Discord would be fab. Change $1 on a Patreon for the invite. Other channels have done that. Thanks for resisting Sanders Stockholm. All right. Discord. All right, thank you. Hey, codename Big Mouth. Thank you. Oscar Perez, I'm so tired of mentioning it. Mexican Prez gave up the country in the Culiacan fight. The federal forces were defeated in Culiacan by the cartels after capturing El Chapo's son. It has changed Mexican history. Please care about it. Thank you very much, Oscar. A lot to care about right now. But we are neighbors, and these things matter. Muntaz Shamsi, search YouTube for Bernie Sanders, join Black Eyed Club, de-occulting Bernie Sanders run for president. Interesting. Thank you, Muntaz. Amath Shakarzi, breaking news, Bernie just surged in polls after getting ahead. Gotcha. Boom. Thank you, Amos. Phelium51, thank you so much. Zonia offering digital hugs to you all. Oh, that is so nice. Since the IRL ones are so dangerous. You got it. Thank you, Zonia. James Curtis. Business in California control customer traffic flow to 225 max. Until they see big lines, then it becomes 380. Keeping up appearance and making money. Business in California control customer traffic flow 225 max. All right, James, I'm not sure. Thank you. BA, good to be part of the Jimmy Dore community today. Thanks for joining us. Ben Chambers, I miss your laugh, Ruby. I know, it's painful. Oscar Perez, I hate these dog questions and shit that does not matter. People are dying. You privileged. Okay, Oscar. This is the way people are engaging right now. And I appreciate your sentiment. But, on the Jimmy Dore show, we try to read all the comments. And we leave it at that. Okay, here we go. Ethan Bacalar's. At this point, I'm voting Trump in hope he's towing the line to get reelected so he can truly burn it all down. His ending of the Fed is a big deal. I hear you. I should have done this a while ago. Love you, Steph, and my favorite Jag-Off nightclub comedian, the Twinkie Foot, the Twinkle Foot. And then the last one was Ethan. P. Jimmy, should the pizza spelling of margarita replace the normal spelling? Why, how, and why not? Danielle Dubois, thank you so much. Jeff Abercrombie, love you, Jim. Jam, keeping up the good work, sweetie. Jim. Michael Joshua Pridgen, excuse me, did AOC actually ditch Bernie because of Rogan? Referee 00 at Whitney Webb. Call out AOC 2 years ago, Mint Press News. I know I got to check out Whitney Webb, and I know we have to check out Whitney. I think she recently was on Grand Political Vigilante Show again. People are letting us know that she must be a guest. Keith Simon, Justin Trudeau is the Canadian Obama. He just sold out Canada post to Amazon. He's not your hero. He's a trick Canadians haven't caught on to yet. Oh, I hear ya. Progressive Martian, thank you, Progressive. Pinata de Burro. Or sent 140 ventilators to New York. Hashtag Oregon proud. Oh, that's great. Or Oregon sent, not or. Oregon sent 140 ventilators to New York. Wow. A grade. We need a morning workout segment, Jimmy Dore. Oh, the Jimmy Core Show. That's hilarious. Louise Brooks. Hey, Steph. I was a teacher too. Favorite YA novel? The Giver was incredible. The Giver. The Fault in Our Stars was beautiful. Oh, yeah. There was one called... Oh, I taught some middle school books, too, that were pretty wonderful. It's all a blur right now. It's all a blur. It's all... Oh, you know what? One book I really enjoyed was, I think it's called The Ugly Stepsister. I really like that. Hertz Left for Dead. Thank you very much. Hey, TK Red Dead 00, go back on Tucker Carlson, talk about Bernie's abandoning his followers, demand a third party formed by outsiders, demand something at the end of the segment, 1% chance Trump will see it and do it. Hey, Hertz Left for Dead, thank you. Philium 50, call Mike Pompeo for what he is, Mike Pompucio. Thank you. Corey Pritchard, thank you so much. Magnetic Perturbation, please consider putting aside some super chat money for future organization investment that we can get shit done supporting you cause. Support solidarity. Thank you so much. Doing it. Jack Sith, capitalism is hell of a drug. Love you all. Thank you so much. It is, huh, Jack? Andrew, love to you. Are we really going to start the Hunger Games? Used to think living in Mexico was corrupt. Jimmy, the corridor. Viva Maton. To think that in my city that there are people that are homeless. And, we've driven to my mom's home a couple times every week to deliver food to her. And usually there are certain people that are on the street that I haven't seen lately, so I don't know where they've moved. Are homeless here in Pasadena. And I know that in Glendale, I've also seen a homeless encampment still. And they had a porta potty next door to them. So I'm not sure what that's about. So, when somebody says, we talk about the Hunger Games, aren't 25% of homeless children in our country? And I know I saw some, people that said, regarding coverage to immigrants, there are a lot of people that are seasonal. And they come over to our country and then they do the farming. You're right. We shouldn't care if the people that pick our food are healthy. You're right. What could go wrong with that? Nothing. Nothing wrong with that at all. So we want people who are living in poverty, exploited, to provide our food on our table. That's not a good recipe. That isn't. Ooh, ouch. It's time we see the pandemic as business opportunity / Hillary Clinton. Thank you, Sean Parker. Didi Pasquale, a strike only goes through if all lefty YouTube heads concretely call for one. Jimmy, go on Rogan's podcast and collect his audience. It'll work. Thank you, Di Pasquale. Ophidian Mind, Bernie is Charlie Brown trying to kick the football and Tom Perez is Lucy pulling it away. He should instead kick Tom in the balls and take back the football for the people if he wants them to win. Oh, I hear ya. Yeah, you can take that off. You want to see the comments? Yeah, I didn't get to that. That's okay. That's Governor Tony Evers. Wisconsin still going to vote. Some people say don't do it. Most of your leaders in Wisconsin say...
How is that not criminal? How does that not violate the order of anything? How does the president not go fuck off? How is there not some kind of health chief? This is, and it's weird. It's like, you always think like, when I was a kid, I would think, well, why did the people in Russia put up with it? I always would think that. Like, why don't they? I don't get it. Well, you're living in it. It's the frog in the pot. You just let it. I already saw my friend Jake Huger saying you have to vote Biden and then we're going to primary him. I already saw it. I mean, isn't that what that is? I don't know. But I did see another video of Jen today where I looked like he was reversing that. Right? Well, didn't it look like it? It looked like it. So I don't know. So
I don't understand.
Thank you. All right. So
I'm at Ophidian Mind at 7 p.m. and it's 8:41. Ready? Are you reading them or am I reading them? So Bernie is Charlie Brown trying to kick a ball and Tom Perez is Lucy pulling away. He should instead kick Tom in the balls and take back the football for the people if he wants to win and help anyone. Ophidian Mind, I love that. That is so, I love that. And I played Lucy, Van Pelt once. Not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
You do a great Lucy.
Mo Baby 1979. Yeah, go to go to viewer activity. Go to viewer activity. You see that click in the middle above? It says 19 in the middle of your screen. Okay, let me do it. Hold on. Boom. Analytics, viewer activity. Great. And now you know how you can scroll it. Do you see the sidebar that you can scroll it to? Down below. Okay, you got it. All right. Mike Timpson, I think, sent us something. We're looking, Mike. Look what Mike emailed you. If he emailed you something, and I'll keep reading, and then I'll hook you up. It's Ophidian 7 p.m. and Moby Baby. See if Mike sent you something. He always sends something. Oh, he emailed me then. 7 o'clock. Brownie. 7 o'clock. Hold on. Amphibian. There we go.
I got an email from Amy Klobuchar.
Oh my God.
And it says,
So
I got an email from Amy Klobuchar, and
I hope they're saying there's unity.
The subject line is "I'm asking."
Oh, shitstorm.
James, I've said it from the beginning. There is more that unites us than divides us. Steph, yes.
Jimmy, it's always about uniting the folks when we're in despair. It's always good to unite, Jimmy. People are in despair, but let's unite. And I hope she's going to ask for some money.
We got to get behind the guy who's not going to give you health care at a time like this. This is nuts. This is nuts that the Democrats even trying to, and then they're going to ask you for money for this shit because Trump. Fuck off. By the way, out in front said fuck off when it was Hillary. Now everybody's on the fuck off train. I just want to let you know, I laid the tracks down for the fuck off train. Yeah, she says, I'm enthusiastically supporting the Democratic Unity Fund and asking you to join me today, James. You motherfuckers, in the middle of the Depression. Donate $7 to the Democratic Unity Fund as support for the critical campaign and structure our By making your first contribution to the Democratic Unity Fund, you're sending a powerful and important message that you don't understand how shit works.
Love you, Jimmy.
It doesn't say that part.
It says that.
No.
By making your first contribution to the Democratic Unity Fund today, you're sending a powerful and important message that you don't understand how shit actually works. You think it's important that Democrats remain united. United in what? United in their hatred for you and anything that will help you. All the while supporting critical programs that will help the corporations and big pharma. It is absolutely critical our Democratic Party is strong enough to fully support Wall Street and the largest corporations ever invented. Donald Trump and the GOP are breaking fundraising records. They ended last year with nearly $195 million in the bank. The DNC is the only party organization responsible for winning the White House and electing Democrats in every zip code. So I'm asking for your support. Thank you for all you do, James. Hey, thank you, Amy.
You know her husband was hospitalized
Run
with
along now,
coronavirus.
children.
Hey, thank you for the thank you.
And you know that they had plenty of coverage. And you know they had access to the best help, the best that medical services could provide them. Is she saying I'm going to get that for you?
No.
She didn't say anything about healthcare for me?
She didn't say anything.
Well, I'm surprised.
Can I just say, though, right at the end, the last sentence, she says, thank you for all you do, James. First of all, I like when people call me James. Second of all, I could not be more grateful for all of your hard work and dedication and support. So she watches the show? And so now I feel like I like her more. Like I now have that's nice that
now you know what now?
That's nice.
Now you're compromised.
Because
Amy Klobuchar just compromised you.
Because if she said that with not knowing anything about me, that would ring hollow. That would be like a bullshit way to try. It's like a used car salesman. Hey, thanks for all your hard work. Doing what? I don't know. That's just what I say to people when I ask for money. That's just something I do. Hey, thanks for all your dedication. To what? I don't know. It sounds good. Can I have some money? If I was Bill Maher, I would have a laugh track right now, and you would be enjoying this a lot more. And plus, I would have it lit in a way that you couldn't even see a wrinkle. You wouldn't even see my, as I call it, the Keith Richards. It was so unbelievable. I want that. Whatever the lighting is for Bill Maher, I want that lighting.
All right, I have
Jimmy. You know what's pronounced Maher?
I want to read a couple of these, and because we're like an hour and a half. We have an hour and a half to read them. So right now, enjoy this hour and delivering the things people need. Please. Hey, Jeff R. Thank you.
I think Mike Simpson sent the Amazon commercial.
But it has music.
So I don't think
we gotta wait on that one. We gotta wait on it.
You never know.
Oh, he sent me the commercial that we've been looking for. Yeah, we don't know if it's royalty-free music. That's the problem.
Right.
I'm at Michael Joshua Pridgeon. Thank you, Mike Timpson. God, I love you. A man Trump staring daggers at dude like a mob boss, right, Michael? Yes, I remember. Kilkenny B at 703. The part that pisses me off the most is that honest people that naively believe in the system will get fucked the hardest.
Get fucked.
He said effed, but I wanted to. Vultures at Blackstone will have a nice payday. They're sycophants and a parachute. Jimmy Dore's illegitimate son, BTFO, bent the F over. Thank you so much. Jason's Corner. That's a reference to something earlier, ladies and gentlemen. Jason's Corner. It's Medicare for COVID-19. This won't last. Jenna. If you get C-19, just go somewhere and say you are uninsured. LOL. Jenna. Yes, JD. Jim Jam.
Has everybody seen the Fauci video that Mike McRae did? The we did the Dr. Fauci video, which is I think the hardest I've ever watched. And that's saying something because Mike literally put me on the floor. How about that? Okay, back to you.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. Sherry McRae, thank you. You got it, doll. Hey, trendy as dabbers, Canis 3 times daily. That's trendy. Trendy dabbers. Trendy as dabbers can a live show 3 daily. I'm going to try it again. Hey, trendy as dabbers can a live show 3 times daily. Trendy as dabbers can a live show 3 times daily. Jimmy, it takes 1 second. Any email you get by law is required to have an unsubscribe link at the very bottom of the email. What? Hit the link and boom. On all those things that you've subscribed to, you just go to unsubscribe.
No, it's good now that I get them.
All right. So you were complaining and Trendy is trying to help you?
No, I already moved. No, thank you for the tip.
Thank you. Hey, Sherry McRae. Thank you. Carl Bruce. To Zach Dunn on porta potties, used to work in site services. They can have hand sanitizers and sink soaps, but must be requested and cost more. Pressure your foreman. I know what you're talking about, Carl Bruce. You were talking about in the construction sites, in the porta potties, they don't have proper cleaning cleansers. So, that's crazy. It has to be requested. Jesus. No, I'm not asking. Nobody was talking. No, nobody was talking to you. Nope. Why? How? Why? All right, Carl Bruce. Thank you, Carl. Derival short oligarchs, mafia, HQ bank for international settlement. Oh, and of course, all their money is everywhere that can't be tracked. And sure, they say Bezos is worth a certain amount of money, not more. Come on. Maimed Lord, we want a rant from Jimmy. JK, so what if you're uninsured and you get coronavirus and you also have cancer? Do they pay for your cancer treatments too? Doesn't sound like
that
it.
was my question.
Sounds like there's going to be a line through it. Oh, we helped you with the C-19. Robert Booth, Jimmy, the CARES Act is the $400 bailout bill. Gotcha. Stephen Leslie, speaking of politics, sounds like a joke. What the F is Biden hiding during all of this? No kidding. Right? Some people think he had maybe a stroke and they're trying to nurse him back slowly.
I agree.
That's
You're
what
not
people
allowed
have
to
said.
say that if it's a Democrat. You can say anything about a Republican, but you can't say that he. I guess you're allowed to say demented now. Isn't that cool that we're all allowed to diagnose Joe Biden and no one gets mad at you? But when I diagnosed Hillary Clinton, everybody made it out like I was fucking crazy. Isn't that something? Why was that only around Hillary? I said it then. I go, you're always allowed to speculate about the health of the president and people running for always. They always did it, except Hillary Clinton. As soon as you did that, they tried to call you crazy. Where did that come from? That came from David Brock, Correct the Record. They started saying it, and then morons repeat it, and they think they thought of it themselves. What's happening?
Nothing. I was just letting you talk.
Oh, okay.
That's what's happening, JD. Hey, Jill Gonzalez, the part of Trump that isn't conservative is showing itself during the pandemic. See, Jimmy, there is something about Trump for every person to love. Oh, Jill Gonzalez, that's funny. That is funny. Jim, this is from Carl. Labor representative was walking anti. This is from Carl Bruce. How did this? Okay, here we go. Ready?
I just read something that 100,000 incarcerated people in our jails and prisons will die from the coronavirus unless the U.S. acts now. 100,000. And so you know what they're going to do? They're going to pass a bill that says you can't sue anybody for any coronavirus-related illness or anything. I mean, you can't sue your employer. The people in the military can't sue. The people in prisons can't sue. Nobody can sue. So that they're going to pass that bill. Did you know that airlines continue to fly across the United States despite only having a few passengers on each flight due to the coronavirus pandemic? Did you know this?
Why do they have to do that? Is that because that if the flight patterns have to stay consistent, like they just have to do it? That's just like there's no other way to. I don't understand how they do it in the first. I can't understand.
So that's what they're calling the COVID. So the stimulus package is called the CARES Act.
Jimmy, they're working on package 4. So it's weird,
That's the name of the.
Incoming. Miles Dore. I invented something to solve all our problems. Connor is uploading it to his channel and we'll send you it. Okay. Thank you. Got the message.
So 10 hours ago, this story was posted at Business Insider. It says federal student loan payments are now stopping automatically, according to the U.S. Department of Education, a change from the previous opt-in system. That's good, right?
Well, in the meantime, you were seeing people on your Twitter feed and my Twitter feed, we were showing people who were protesting here in L.A. for the rent strike and feeling helpless. Like, I pay my rent, or do I just save it so I can buy food and take care of my family? Those are the real decisions our community is having to face. This is from Maimed Lord, we want to rant. Oh, we said that. Okay, Jimmy, the CARES Act is truly gotcha. Speaking of politics, got it. Carl Bruce got it. Carl Bruce, Jim, labor representative was walking anti-union propaganda film. You don't want to strike, your company will always be there to F us to your satisfaction. Yes, you were correct. They will F us. Oh, why did this move? Here we go. Okay. Jill Gonzalez, thank you so much. Joseph Hurst, thank you so much. Tig Wombro, everyone knows the dangers of world pandemic, yet no one was prepared. What catastrophe has caused mass extinction? Comets, asteroids, yet no one, no government is prepared. What the F? Trump is stealing both Joe and Bernie's thunder, and Bernie and Trump is working together. Oh, that's interesting. Thank you, I sang. John McCarthy. Kayla Johnstone just posted a new poem on her website. Could one of you please read it out loud on the live stream? It's Steve. You'll enjoy it. I love her. I love her. Hold on. Let me make a note. I gotta get through this. Ronnie, you went down? You went down? Okay, hold on. Okay,
So that's the federal stimulus pact. That's the name. I didn't know that was the name of it.
John McCarthy, I'll look for it, buddy. Hey, Jeff Casada. Bernie texted me today, and I responded. He will not have my support until he calls rent, mortgage, general strike. Should have split the bill. They asked who I support. I said no one. Right on. That's how I'm filling that out. Johnny Samara. Might Bernie be cautious to implement Medicare for all to avoid overwhelming the healthcare system? What the fuck? Did you see they gave we don't want to give trillions of dollars to the bank and big corporate America. We don't want to, overwhelm them with our money. No. Don't accept that. Don't accept crumbs. Greg One Love, I keep wondering what's going to take for average Americans to revolt. No shit, right? If this isn't the moment, it will never happen. Jimmy, will you lead the charge?
Yes.
He said yes. Gray, keep up the good work. Hey, Gray, thanks so much. Zachary Titian, Bernie offered Green's nomination by Stein and Hawkins. Bernie offered Green's nomination. Perfecto Flora Oro. They said he was politicizing pandemic. Establishment officially effed with his head, and that's what happened. We need to be louder than them. So he answers to us, all in caps for Perfecto. Anthorarial. He must have actually listened to Whoopi and the other shrews on The View. They accused him of politicizing Medicare for all for his benefit. God damn. God damn it. Manuel Van Dyke keeps saying it. It's time for a revolt. Boom. Time for a revolt. Okay. Here you go. Here you go.
Okay.
You want some water? I love him. I love him. He brings me great joy. Our other dog, Bubba, who died, I guess 5 years ago. Oh, he was great. I had him since he was a puppy. And we got Brownie from a shelter. And he's such a sweet little guy. But he didn't used to like to be hugged or anything. It was very hard. That's it. Oh, dogs' personalities are so individual. Of course they are. They're adorable. All right, here. Janine Campbell in Twitter spam jail for advocating for a hashtag Gen Strike. Really? How does that happen? That's from Janine. My grandpa is dying. The biggest health care with Medicare, my grandma says, is that they send her 5 to 10 checks a week to cover her payments. That has to be crazy making. Thank you so much, King Thumb, for hanging in there. Janine, thank you so much. Marl Rose, invite for interview the excellent MDC YouTube channel, Axi Young. Great COVID-19 info, please. Thank you so much. Life of Brian. Hey, JD. It sounds like you've been sitting on a lot of this for a while. Great to let it go, huh? Trendy as Dabbers.
Yes.
Janice Live show 3 times daily. World COVID-19 cases have topped 100K daily cases. Louise Brooks, Sunday Fun Day. I hope so. TK, Death Double O. When you go on Tucker, talk about the Roosevelt and the New Deal. If it's a slight chance Trump sees the show, it will get into his head, and he will think about the new program. Go ahead.
I'll have to Skype in.
Jimmy, get this. Ready? Jimmy? Did Brianna Joy Gray get back to you?
She did not.
It's not. Oh, shame on her. Thank you, Kate.
Well, she follows me. I don't follow her on Twitter. All of a sudden, I noticed she was following me. So I sent her a DM. Said, hey, come on the show. She didn't get back to me. So then I sent her some things saying, what are you guys going to do to implement your thing? So What, has anybody said anything yet about Bernie's email? No one's texted me. No one's emailed me. None of my friends. Nobody has said anything.
I'm just, but
No
I'm
one's-
not there.
Okay.
I'm right here. I'm at 7:24.
Oh, okay. Let's get.
So I don't know what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
All right. Hey, trendy as dabbers, Hannah live show 3 times daily. U.S. daily COVID-19 cases topping 33,000. Is Trump proud? Vitaly Kulik. They won't give people money because it frees people from bank debt. Oh. Dystopian 63, Jimmy killing it. Jean Wagner. Thank you. Lori. Keith Simon, I keep telling people Trump is a master showman. Yes, his charisma is off the damn charts. He is going to beat Joe Biden to death at the debate. They don't believe me. I can't wait to show this video. They don't believe you? How does somebody see
What doesn't
Biden
believe you about what?
Doesn't believe that Biden will be destroyed by Trump?
Have you seen him do an interview? For whatever reason, they were able to jack him up to get through that debate. Maybe he got the questions ahead of time. But Bernie never pressed him. Ever. Hey, go ahead, son.
No worries. Please don't apologize. So amazing. Thank you. So amazing. No, none of your business. None of your business. That is great TV, Jimmy. As I keep saying, he doesn't really want to be president. He is a placeholder for somebody else. Oh my God, nobody's business. None of your business. Hey, Jimmy Dore's illegitimate son. If a political novice with raccoon on his head can win prez, why can't an expert with perfect hair like Jimmy D run against a Feinstein and win? Hashtag lock her up. Oh, I love you, Jimmy Dore's legitimate son. Trendy Ed Sabbers can a live show 3 times. Trump devouring Biden will be bittersweet. We get to say we told you so while having to endure 4 more years of the ace clown. Not worth the laughs. I hear you. Mike Eads. Thanks for all the live shows. I saw you in Denver. That was so much fun. Is there any way you can get Howie Hawkins on the show? Green Party. Hey, Howie Hawkins just was a guest on Ron Falcone's show. You should check out Ron Falcone's Get Your News On with Ron.
Ron did a great job.
Great interview.
Get your news on with Ron.
And no, Ron doesn't watch this show, and it hurts my feelings. Because if he was, he would text me right now.
All of a sudden, it's good. You know, texting was pasta. Jimmy, how is Malcolm missing his calling?
He should be a comedy writer.
Anonymous.
Fuck yeah.
It's irresponsible for the support organizer-in-chief to not use his movement to mobilize general strike to pass his agenda. My comment on Bernie video and got deleted at least. There's proactive about something. Thank you so much, Anonymous. Sean Graham. I spent all 2016 convinced that Trump was Hillary's plant. Now it seems it was Bernie all along that was playing controlled opposition. Audrey Brooks, while listening, I kept thinking about Bernie's style versus yours. It's like Bernie's Martin Luther King's temperament and how he addresses problems.
No.
You're Malcolm X. Malcolm, I don't know. I think I'm okay. Wow. Inspiring. Do you see your dog talking to you?
Yeah, he's hungry. Want to give him something?
I think, I don't know. Isocyanate.
You go take care of it.
People that even consider Bernie or Biden are half-brain dead, period. Trendy as dappers can a live show 3 times daily. Trump set guidelines saying groups of 10 were fine. I made my own card. It says, stay the fuck home. Hashtag STFH. Please use the hashtag for awareness. I love it. Here you go, Jimmy D. It's at 7:35.
He's ready. Can you get another one?
He's ready. You're ready.
Bye. The People United says there was a no U.S. in Not Me Us. Or there was no us in Not Me Us. It's been about Bernie and what he wants and doesn't this whole time. It's time we the people take it from here. Thank you. Mr. Justice says, Killer Mike Sanders' song, The Time Is Now, was the best moment of the campaign. Search it on YouTube. I liked Nellie McKay had a great song. You're being ridiculous. Ridiculous. Big A, you can find that on. We have to drop that. I don't know if we did yet. Big A5 says, Jimmy, how do we take Sanders' movement to a third party? Any ideas? Because I'm done with the Democrat BS. And screw this hack down ballot loyalist too. I'm with you, big ass 5. Keith Simon says, talk about the Green candidate offering Bernie to run as leader of the Greens, but we know he won't because Unity or some weak shit bully. Tuffle Hasty says, why does Bernie and his wife? I don't know. Coincidence? Trendy Ass Dabber says, Jimmy, now that all the hope of political representation is lost, are you ready to learn off-grid living from me? Twitter Trendy Ass. You know what? Now we're living in this. Well, maybe now. Yeah, maybe. I think I should grow a garden. Maybe. Okay. Hussein Brazil says, I'd rather have a libertarian over Biden Trump. Me too. Trendy Ass Dabber says, Steph, speaking of medicine, you guys tried the stuff I said you hit, not the oil. Yes. Fantastical. Thank you very much. Anonymous says, Bernie is a flaccid social democrat. They always side with the capitalist class when push comes to shove. The Jack HQ says, hi guys, please interview Brian Carroll if you can. He's running for president of the American Solidarity Party. He's a big fan of worker co-ops. No kidding. Okay. Have him reach out to us. Strictly Diesel says, been here since less than 20,000 subscribers. You're all so important. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the thank you. Strictly Diesel. Jason says, hey, if you're not ready to fight, you deserve to lose. You're right, Jason. Nathan Berry says, I saw the Tulsi interview. You did great, Jimmy. Thank you. Reefy OO says, interview Harley Schlanger of LaRouche Pack. I don't think you know what's up with the LaRouche Pack. I think you should look a little more into them. None of your business says Trump could blow up Dems, pardon Assange, and Chelsea. Oh, if he did that, huh? Michael Strauss says, what is up with Jimmy's support for Tulsi? She speaks like she's a Cylon, a textbook case of politics in the English language. Hey, Funky Lollipop says, Jimmy, could Bernie be throwing the election? Could he, you think? Hey, Mo Baby 1979, Jimmy ran out of TP. Help, did you? Observer says, sorry, Clyburn endorsed Hillary in 2016, not Bernie. No, that's not the person I was talking about. South, yeah, I know that. I'm talking. There was another African American. I just read an article about it in HuffPo. You're correct, but they could have got Clyburn this time if they'd tried. They didn't. They messed it up. Read the article. Toby Sean says, serious question, Jimmy. Would you ever consider running for office at any level? I would run for dog catcher. Bayou Boy 666 says, I voted for Trump because I despise hillbilly, but I plan to vote for Tulsi Gabbard. I live in Arkansas, so I know a lot of their dirt, death, CVR cover-ups, whatever CVR is. Michael Golding says, from Jennifer Golding, I can't believe this party has let us down in such a spectacular manner. Thank you for telling the truth. I love you guys. Yellow Vesta, yellow cars, thoughts? Yes. S. Patavel says, did JD cover Twitter blue checks in meltdown because Joe Rogan said he'll vote for Trump over Biden? I don't know. I covered a lot of stuff. Fred Dietz says, never before have I seen an election in which millions of elderly are voting for a candidate just despite the young. Biden isn't even good for corporations without massive assistance from animals. Hey, King says, losing your job is a life-changing event which would give you access to the ACA anyway. So what Hillary Rodham Clinton is pushing for is already in place. John McCarthy says Hartman is one of the reasons for Bernie's mistakes. He helped. Oh, really? Tom Hartman, you mean? He helped launch Sanders' 2016 campaign, but counts on Bernie to be a punk just like he is. Nicole Lambert says, had to start holding Bernie accountable. Thanks for lighting my fire. Love you guys. Kilkenny B says, if you want to say that Bernie is some kind of dishonest manipulator that has no unimpeachable beliefs, you better have some damn good evidence. Tell me who he displaced in changing Tell me who he displaced in changing conversation. Good question, Kilkenny B. Thank you for the thank you. Oh boy. Augusta Johnston says, hey, come lick me, Chad, somewhere on the internet. All right. Brad Hargis, thank you. V, thank you. Carl Bruce says, to who said it's mean to lobby for M4A, boo-hoo. John McCarthy says, thank you, Steph, for taking care of you. Carrie H11 says, 10 years since collateral murder video free Julian. Yes. Brad Haggis, he's back, saying, serious question. No bullshit. Who's got the better nippers? Cuomo, Jimmy Dore, or Robert Reich? I gotta go Robert Reich. Brad says, Jimmy, Trump is not bailing out the corporations right now. The law was passed by Obama. Trump tried to nominate people like Herman Cain that advocate for handbrake on the Fed Reserve gold standard, but was overruled 4 times. Okay, Brad, don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I will say thank you very much for your donation and for your watching. Michael says, new tagline, no trickle down, yes, bubble up econ. Girly Gamer 86 says, Business Insider says direct deposits of up to $1,200 start April 15th. A physical check April 24th. Too late and too little for most people. I'm with you. Bayou Boy 666, thank you. Brad Hargis, thank you. Brad Hargis again, thank you. Pack says Bernie never intended to win. He's shilling for the DNC. Friend. Oh, come on back up. He gathers supporters, takes their money and their time, and tells them to vote for his friend. It's not a revolution. It's a moral betrayal. Big Guy Civil Production says
Jimmy,
thank you. Thank
you're
you
really
for the
hard
thank
to
you,
listen
Big
to
Guy.
sometimes.
Peter
I would be doing this
Palov
way
says
better than
Bernie
you.
spoke
Way
out about
fucking
the
better
big
than
corps
you.
not
You know
needing
what?
the bailout
I
money.
can't wait.
But he voted for it because people are sitting at home without paying. He
It's going to be so
get the
delicious.
bill when he wanted.
It's going to be easy, too.
Big Guy Sample
so many more
Production says,
followers
what
than you.
the F did Bernie say about M for
I'm not even going to try as hard. You think you
Hargis
barely
says,
try. Wait till you fucking see me.
Bayou Boy 666 says, I come from Hospital State. LSU
really
had best doctors. Jerry Romero says, after Occupy, Obama signed into law
I care more.
Section 1021 of the National Defense Authorization Act, allowing military to act as a domestic police force. Overturning the 1878 Posse Comitatus Act. You are fucking right, Jerry Romero. Here's to you, Jerry fucking Romero. You are on it. The Posse Comitatus. I love saying it. It's like subprime mortgage. The Posse Comitatus. Fuck. Could say that all day, right?
You are not good at reading comments, bro.
Hey, did you
all.
overturn the Posse Comitatus Act? Oh, habeas corpus? Habeas corp all of us.